right, good morning everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. I appreciate you coming by, hanging out with me if you do celebrate Easter. Little did I know when I wanted to just do the flowers today that it was going to be Easter, and I think a springtime festival with building flowers is kind of appropriate. I don't have any Easter sets to build. Also, there's a fly around here, and if you see it or see me swiping at it, I apologize. I don't know what else to do. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go get a fly swatter. I forgot we own fly swatters now, so I'm gonna try to keep this nearby and take a whack at it if it hits the screen or the lights or something. So again, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend and a good Easter or Ostara or whatever else you may celebrate. So good morning, Missy. How you doing? Johnny was here earlier, said he had a brunch. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate that. Johnny celebrated 200 streams the other day on his normal weekly stream, and did some giveaways. So if you're able to, make sure to go to his channel and subscribe. That would be great. So it got me thinking. I offhanded made a comment that I was probably in the 600s of some, like however many streams, and I went and looked, and it was 500, but that was like also not ones that I just did on Twitch. So that makes a little sense, like the amount of times I've skipped a week to do a game or had a something come up, medical reasons, or I wasn't feeling good. So about 500 or so episodes of doing this live stream. So that's a thing, right? That's quite a lot. Hopefully we'll do some more. We'll see how it goes. So we'll get into it here. This is I gotta go away from this and go back to the instructions. This is the pretty pink bouquet. This is what we're going to be building today. It was a kind of a last minute purchase, really. I didn't really have any designs to get a new one. I usually try to get as many of the botanicals as I can because it's an excuse to get some great part usage, some neat pieces, and see how they're being used to make the flowers. But also it's an excuse to put Lego up in the rest of the house. I've kind of relegated the display of all Lego to this room and the TV room. And the TV room's got a big bookshelf with the TV on top, and it's kind of like a bookshelf console thing. And so I don't have a ton of consoles. It's just the one PlayStation, but underneath it are a bunch of things like video games and TV stuff. So I think it works for that area, right? But the rest of the house, there's botanicals and stuff. So if I get more artwork, Mona Lisa or the sunflowers, the Van Gogh sunflowers, I'll be able to put those up too. So let's get into this. If we get done with this early, I've got a flamingo we can build later too. I don't have a vase, so these will be kind of put together and just kind of laid out, as it were. So let's get into it. Missy, how was the meeting yesterday? I'm sorry I couldn't attend. I was at an Austin FC game. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much. It was a 1:30 kickoff, and that is very rare to get an afternoon game like that. But I think because it was a Saturday, they were like, let's do an afternoon game instead, sort of at the whim of Apple TV. And also let me know if the sound and stuff is okay. Meeting was good? Good. I hope everybody had a good time. I know there was a few people who were new that time. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to meet them, so I hope they come back and I get to properly meet them. I should have given more news to Lasso about lug bulk and things like that. Apparently there's a DHL problem. DHL is not shipping to the US right now until things are figured out. Luckily, we have used DHL in the past, but I think the next few times, or the last couple times, it's been FedEx. So we should be okay, but I'm waiting to hear from Lego about that. All right, so this is just another, I don't know what build your way means. I think it just means build it with paper instructions or digital instructions. So elegant by nature. They try to use a lot of, okay, so this first one is the cornflower that we're building. A rebellious weed to beloved bouquet of flowers. Europe and North America, bees and butterflies really like it. So you can tell this is going to be one of these where there's nothing to build into. It's just going to be something you stick into a vase because they just give you the Technic rods, the Technic axles. Sound is good. That's good. So, Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo was happening this last weekend, and I think one big thing came out of it, and that was the K2SO buildable figure. Was released, imaged, talked about something. And it looks pretty cool. This may be one that I get. I do want to get, I still want to get the C3PO, but it keeps being a little more than I keep thinking it's like an $80 thing and it's like $120 or something. So I'm kind of like, oh, all right, maybe I'll ask for it for a birthday or something. White Claw, look at that. White Claw. I don't think I've seen white claws like that before. So that's cool. Yeah, so that's kind of some news that came out from Star Wars Celebration. There was a bunch of other Star Wars news that came out. I haven't gone through a whole list of it yet. Darth Maul is getting his own show. Something about who was it? There's a kind of a big name actor who was going to start doing, or was going to do a standalone movie. Was it Ryan Gosling? Ryan Gosling doing Star Wars Starfighter or something like that. I'm not really sure what that entails, if it's based off of anything or if it's just a wholly individual story. It would be cool if it were kind of like a there was a time when we were waiting for the who was the director of Wonder Woman? I want to say Penny Marshall, but it wasn't Penny Marshall. Anyway, she was going to do a Rogue Squadron movie that got kind of put off. So I'm hoping that whatever this Star Wars Starfighter is more like that, where it's a kind of a Top Gun in a Star Wars universe thing with pilots and starfighters and stuff. I think that's something that I think is a niche that Star Wars really hasn't explored in terms of the cinematic universe. They've done it in books. Ooh, that's really loose. Is that gonna fall out? No, it just turns really easily. They've done books, they've done video games, they've done... I would love a TV show. Ask us for your birthday. Okay, I'll make a list. Yeah, there's... The Van Gogh thing is great. The C-3PO is great. Trying to think of... if you can find the Mona Lisa, that'd be all right. There's a new one. The K2SO doesn't come out till August, so that's when I'll get on my own. Those are the only ones really I kind of want right now. I've been kind of leaning away from buying a lot of Lego because I'm getting bulk Lego lately. and building my own stuff. So buying sets is, you know, you kind of are like, well, usually I would get sets to enjoy the build experience, but I'm building my own stuff. So is that also the build experience? I don't know. So I rebooted, make sure no other software is attaching itself to the cameras. So hopefully this will be a technical problem-free stream today. I know I've had problems with the camera going off, so we'll see how that goes. Also, hello, Lisa. Happy Easter to you. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, these pieces in sand green. These display pieces. And again, that part of that is cool. The stud on either side of it, right? This part is less cool. I wish it wasn't a Technic axle, because that really limits where you can put that. Honestly, I wish it were, it makes sense if you want it to be stable. If you add it to anything Technic-y, it won't move, it won't rotate, but it also limits what you can put that in. I would have liked a bar on this side. That way you could put this kind of anywhere and use it to display figures or do stuff, so. All right, these little water can looking things in dark green, I haven't seen those yet. So yesterday was a big day for sports ball fans, meaning me. Yesterday was both a Austin FC game at home and the beginning of the playoffs for the Colorado Avalanche. And that's why I said it was stressful, because the Austin FC game was very stressful, because we had scored. It was 0-0 at the half, and then we scored like halfway through the second half, and then had to hold on, and then got a red card, so we were down a man, and then there was all kinds of like kind of fighting at the end of it, but we ended up winning, and it was a lot of fun. So and then came home and crashed, even though I didn't mean to. I came home and was like, no, I'm just gonna sit on the couch and look at my phone or watch Mythbusters until the playoff game starts late, and then fell asleep. I was so tired. But then, yeah, the Avs and the Stars started their playoff series yesterday, and the Avs won convincingly. So I'm very excited about the first run of the first round of the playoffs. I think it'll be fun. So, and that'll be it for the sports talk section of the stream today, because I know that's not everybody's bag. But I like it. I like going to the events. I like going more than watching. But it's a lot of fun. And then with the TIFO went up. We had a really great time doing the TIFO. Rowan and I hoisted. We were on the ropes, so we were able to hoist it. And it was a great TIFO this time. It was a collection of artists, and each artist did a panel of a different player. And then they were all kind of put up on the netting and sort of interwoven with like tree limbs and leaves. So it looked like, because the kind of unofficial logo of Austin FC is a tree. And so it was like the leaves of the tree are all the players. So, and a few of the players afterwards were like, I really liked mine. Can we buy those? So it was a good time. So, and I also put my hat in the ring to do a TIFO, to design a TIFO. So, I don't know how many know this, but I used to draw a lot more than I do now. And I know people get on me about it. They're like, you've got an ability. Why do you stop doing it? I'm like, I don't want to, it never really, it's not that I'm not inspired or anything. It's just that, it's a thing I like doing every once in a while, but it's not something I'm driven to do anymore. Um, I like doing this. I like designing sets. I like building a little more than I like drawing. Um, and this I can do in spurts. I feel like drawing really takes a sort of dedicated, you got to give yourself time. You can't just spend 15 minutes on it at a time and expect to either improve or kind of be successful with it. So, and I just don't have like 6 to 8 hours in a day to do that anymore. But I thought, well, I still have enough, I think, that I could, and some organizational skills and maybe some free time to do a TIFO. So I put up an idea in the Slack, the group Slack, that was like, hey, why don't we do a cover of an adaptation of Avengers. I know it's a little out of season to do an Avengers thing, but I know that they've got a new movie coming out, Avengers Doomsday, pretty soon. Maybe next year. Not really sure when it's going to be. 2027 maybe. Why don't we do an adaptation of Avengers number 100 that's got, it's like the, is it, I forget the artist. Is it, it's not Byrne. Maybe it's Byrne. But anyway, it's a classic, like, not, I don't know, my brain is leaving me right now. Not Kirby and not Ramita, but I think it was Byrne. Who did a bunch of like classic covers. And it's one where it's like all the Avengers are kind of running at the camera, right? It's like Captain America holding up his shield, and there's Hulk and Vision and somebody on a horse, Valkyrie maybe, I don't know. So I was like, why don't we adapt that one, but instead of the Avengers, we just put all the players on it and make it look like a big comic book cover. And then maybe off on the sides we can have smaller pieces that say like boom, pow, you know, thwack, something like that. So it kind of gives it a little energy. And I haven't heard, like, everybody seemed to like the idea, but again, it's up to the TIFO committee to be like, okay, we need one for this date, or we need one for now, or whatever thing. So I'll wait and see if it's something they want to do. And if they do, I told Beth, I was like, well, I put my hat in the ring for a TIFO. And she's like, what does that mean? I'm like, that means that I may have to be gone for like six weeks while I work on this. So this didn't really say. So at the beginning here, it's like, use these, 2 of these and 1 of those. Is there a whole other flower here that uses that one? Okay, this one uses it. Okay. Yeah. So I need 2 of these. Gotcha. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. That also means that if that happens, I may not be doing streams for whatever. I may need to take a break from the streams while I do that, because it literally is going to be like every night from like 6 to 11 working on this for a while. So I'm hoping it's also not one of these things where it's like it happens over Brick Rodeo, where like June 20th they go, great, we're going to start this up. When are you available? I'm like, I can be there, you know. And the other thing is I have to draw the thing first, so that's going to take a little while. Hopefully they don't need it right away. I should probably start sketching some stuff out. But that might mean a break from doing Lego stuff for a little bit. I just don't know. I haven't heard. Do that and then put that aside. Then we're going to do 2 other things for a while. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm trying to think of any other Lego news. Hold up on my phone, see what I can find out. Star Wars stuff. The big issue with the DEI stuff, I haven't really heard any more out of that. There's a new Rebuild the Galaxy coming out. Pieces of the Past. Interesting. That must have come out with Celebration. I didn't see anything about that until just now. That's interesting. I liked the idea of Rebuild the Galaxy. I think it was a clever way to kind of introduce people to mocking culture. To be able to rebuild things however you want. And oh my god, times 2 times 5. So this is going to take a second. The idea that you can just take a set and change the color a little bit, or you can take a set and replace the roof, or replace the trees, or put different wings on it, or and that's kind of your introduction into making your own models. You know, it's like, well, if I can do this, I can just gather the pieces that I want it, and make my own modular house, make my own Star Wars ship, make my own animal, my own skeleton. They haven't done a Brachiosaurus skeleton, so I'm going to do that. You know, they haven't made this type of bird yet. I'm going to make that. And then kind of use the models that are already out there as a building block. Some smaller ideas to build things are like when people do the habitats. The habitats are always kind of a big hit because they're very easy to put together, very customizable, very you can put a lot of your own personality in it. And I think that's a real good gateway into kind of doing your own thing. Those calendar type of builds too, where it's like, today try to build this, or the game Brictionary, I think they call it, where you get, you know, a prompt: build a rabbit, build a train car, something, and but you only have 5 pieces to work with. You know, stuff like that, I think is really great. And that's why sometimes I know I like part usage in models, but also sometimes I just like the giant boxes of the creator whatever bricks, where it's just pieces, and lets you kind of build your own thing. That's really what Lego is kind of about. And I know I'm going to catch flack from but I like displaying stuff. And I do too. I love displaying things. But at the end of the day, it's a building system. All right, so this is your first bag of flowers. This is like the leaves. There's your hockey fan. The leaves that go in and around, right? It's over here so you can kind of see it without... Oh, and I just lost the camera. Cool. All right, 1 second. See if I unplug it and plug it back in. So weird. It must be a memory issue somewhere. I just don't know what else it could be. All right. I need to put away some of these extra small pieces. They're starting to build up over onto the side here. All right, bag 2. I do have some emails to answer too. I think I got a couple of emails about wanting to be part of an innovation lab or something. A couple of other lugs got it too, and I want to send that over to our group and be like, does anybody want to, you know, partake in this? And of course, I hate to say it, like we've been getting a lot of non-responses from volunteer things, and I'm a little worried that our group is now just wanting to buy things, or there for lug bulk and project support, and that's it. And the 5 or so people who want to volunteer all the time just aren't going to be able to do it every time. But I guess we'll find out, right? 11. So I'll forward it on, see if I can get anybody interested. And also, it may be that it's not something that we want to do. Like, I'll have to read it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow. Five. What did you post on Discord, Greg? Posted a pic. Oh, God. Oh, is that a new one? Is that an official one? I can't really show it if it's a leak. But if it's official, I'll show it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. A new set reveal. Like if I went to lego.com or Lego's social media page, they'd be all right with this. It's a isn't that cute? That's pretty cute. It's super posable too. Or I guess it's, you can build it one of two ways. That's pretty cute. Yeah, well, I hope so too now. Oh man, I've got to do this twice. This is a twofer. So I probably don't even need to count this one. This is just going to be the rest of these. How are you, Greg? Happy Easter to you. I hope you're doing well. Are you getting excited for Brick Rodeo? Oh, here's something. So I'm super bummed. I got that piece for my mock, that adapter for the powered up hub, and it works great. The USB cable is this long, right? It's like, here's the battery, here's the hub, the cable goes out to here, right? My mock is to play, like if this sits in the middle of it, there's no way that cable gets off the model. So I'm like, that's fine. Like, I understand, you know, you don't want to, if you're selling a product, you don't want to like overcommit on the length of a cable, just minimum that you can sell. That's not my problem. My problem is you're carrying 9 volts out of that, and it's a USB-A connection, and there's nothing that I can find that will carry 9 volts across a USB cable. A USB extension, right? So but I didn't know this at the time. So I went and went online and found 2 10-foot USB cables, and I asked around, and everyone went, yeah, after about 30 feet, you're going to get drop off. I'm like, that's really long for a USB connection. Maybe they meant 3 feet, because at 10 feet, the cable's rated for 5 volts, not 9 volts. Again, I did not know this going into it. I know nothing about electricity. I know nothing about powering up Lego models. This is my first this is literally my first rodeo. Oh, you saw Sinners yesterday? Cool. We will talk about that shortly, because I just saw a thing on Oh, Screen Crush. They're like, the ending explained. I'm like, I don't even know what this movie is. So we'll get into it here in a second. This is, I love the flowers because this is not the beginning you think of when you're building a flower. It looks like you're building a gas exchange, like on a meter out by a house or a scuba gear or something. Anyway, so I get these cables, not knowing that you can't push 9 volts down USB-A cables, at least not these. And then I went and got a wall adapter that had 2 USB plugs in it. Again, only rated for about 5 volts. Now, I don't understand the difference between watts, volts, and amps. I know it's sort of like one is a product of the other two. One is like how much is actually going down the conduit, and one is what's expected or what is rated for the conduit. And then ohms is like what kind of restriction you have on that delivery. That's kind of like basics for what I know. That's about it. Oh goodness, so we set those aside. And then we're gonna do this times 3. So this needs to be this times 2. Do I hear somebody milling around in there? Hi. What? That would be really weird if it was somebody else. Oh, hi, coworker from that job that I used to have 20 years ago. Ooh, this is a very small connection. These are very small connections. I don't know if you can see that. So, yes, I do want to get the new K2SO. It looks really rad. I saw Alan Tudyk saying he wanted to do a K2SO spinoff, kind of along the lines of the Fast and Furious franchise. It'd be K2 Fast, K2 Furious. Got a big laugh at Celebration. So I got the adapter, got the plugs, got it all set up, rebuilt the model, put it on a different table, had all the cables run through the Mills plating. It was beautiful, right? It looked really good. Plugged it all in, nothing. Didn't even turn on. I'm like, well, that's disappointing. So I, went and found some other cables and some other plugs, and nothing I could do made this work. I was like, but this, I know it worked one time when I plugged it in. It's because I plugged it in directly from the hub to a power brick that was rated for 10 volts and up, right? It was like one of those fast charging bricks for Samsung. And I can't really tell where these go. So I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, it's covered. I can't really see. Is it on the back? Yeah, I guess it's on both of those, but that seems to be getting in the way. So I'm gonna do it up here. That's also getting in the way. Ooh, these are finicky. Oh, man. So, plugged it all in, didn't work. Did some research, found out nothing I was gonna do was gonna work because 9 volts. I was like, well, that sucks. Those can't both be in there. I guess it is, you just have to kind of jam it in there and make it work. So I emailed the company who sold me the adapter and I was like, look, your product is great. What I would like to know is if you personally have any recommendations, not that you're selling anything, but any recommendations for how to get it from my mock to the wall. What accessories would you recommend for this to work? Because while your product is amazing, it's in the middle of a model, of a Lego model that is easily 3 times as big. So there's no way for me to get any power to it. Now, if I put it on a battery thing, as long as the cable can handle the wattage or the volts, don't know the difference. I need to take a class. Then it works, right? But I also need to have a phone on it because the limitation of powered up and its controller means that whatever phone you use or tablet has to be on constantly. So I need to have it plugged in as well. So I was like, if you have any suggestions about that, please let me know. Because I'd really like to use your product, but I currently can't do anything with it. Right, so we do this. And we'll see. And I'm just going to keep looking through Amazon or Best Buy or I'm going to do this 3 times again. And see if there's anything I can get that will work. Because I feel like the USB-C adapters, the smaller universal rounded ones, would work. But I'd have to then translate the USB-A to the USB-C, which is another adapter, which is another chance for it to lose power. So that's my quandary. Now, I'm not super worried because I've still got about May, June, about a month and a half, a little less than a month and a half to figure it out. And shipping doesn't take long from wherever I order it. I'm sure I can go to a local computer store or Best Buy or something. I just have to find the right thing. So far, I haven't been able to find the right thing, and it's kind of frustrating because it feels like if this was an easy thing, it would be easily, I could find it easy. And if I can't find it easy after hours of searching, then it may not exist, which means I'm screwed. Or I just have to put batteries in it. Like, I don't even know how long it would run with batteries. Like, I hadn't even tried that, but the problem is if my model's in the middle of a big display, not only would I have to get through parts of my model to replace the batteries, I'd have to get through all of the other models to get to my model to replace the batteries. So I'm in a bit of a quandary. So if anybody's seeing this now or later has information about how to transfer 9 watts or 9 volts like you would for any Lego model across USB connections, please hit me up. I'm getting to the point where I'm a little desperate. And I don't mind spending the money to make it work. I don't mind buying more stuff. The cables I bought were like $6. The adapter was $5. So it's not like I'm out a stupid amount of money or anything. I'm just getting frustrated that I keep buying products, not understanding what I'm doing, and it not working. So, all right. I still have all this coffee. To answer your question, yes, I'm going to get K2SO. I don't know if I answered your question properly or not. Sinners. I don't know anything about Sinners. What is it? I saw a thing for it, and there's just a screenshot of 2 guys like holding each other and going, is it a comic book movie? Is it... I feel like Screen Crush wouldn't review it unless it were some sort of like fantasy, science fiction, comic book movie. So I'm not really sure like if it was a paid partnership or what, but now I feel like I want to watch it. How many times are we doing this? Okay, just there. I love these pieces. I don't use them nearly enough, but for some reason I really dig them. They're great for building trees and machines and things that need kind of a central access and easy access points on either side. Oh yeah, I was able to put a new TikTok up. not only did I get this finished, but I got it all built. Like I parted it out and got it all built. The only part that I don't like is underneath this black part right here. It needs to be either dark gray or light gray, and I didn't have those pieces, but I mean, you're not looking at that. So I think that turned out really well. I kind of kit bashed a Andor with a flight suit on instead. But the wings aren't terribly stable, but I think they're stable enough. I really like it. I think it turned out really good. People are gonna think it's a TIE Interceptor because of the front. They're gonna think it's Vader's ship because of the back, but I will happily explain how it's neither of those. Because the pedantic is strong with this one. So yeah, a lot of Star Wars news coming out. I've been following some people who've gone to Celebration. I'm gonna have to parse through now that it's over, and they've announced where it's gonna be next year, and I think it's gonna be in LA next year. And I don't think everybody's excited about it. It was in Japan this year. Some really great cosplay coming out of it. So it looked fun. One of these days I'm gonna have to go. I think Beth's been once, and she's continually shocked that I haven't gone to one. Like, well, first of all, you gotta get there. Like, it's expensive to get to a place, and then you gotta, you know, I'm not being penny pinching about it, but vacations are expensive. Dusty, how's it going? It would have to be USB-C or an AC converter. I've never heard of a 9-volt USB. You could use an old 9-volt adapter and splice the cable. And I'm not an hour late. I just type slow. So that's my problem, because it takes this, which is 6 1.5 volt AA batteries, and turns it into 9 volts across a USB. Turns it into this. I don't know if you've seen this. So this is what I'm dealing with. And it sits in the middle, and after, you know, it sits like this in the middle of the model, has to go down through into the Mills plate. And so this is how much room I'm dealing with. And this won't even get off. It won't even get out of the Mills plate. Like it just won't. So I need to adapt this. I need to get 9 volts into this across that. So this should carry it right here. This should carry it, right? Because I can plug this into a, I think I could even plug this into a battery. And it should work. And if not, I can plug it into my phone charger, which is a fast charger, and it should work. But like, this should turn it on. And it doesn't. It doesn't even recognize it. So I don't know what milliamps this puts out. Yeah, this only puts out 5 volts as well. So this won't even help me. But if I plug this into a fast charger, like a Samsung fast charger, this works, right? So I have to get a long cable that can handle 9 volts, which is a USB-C. So I guess I could get an adapter for this to turn it to USB-C, and then get a USB-C extension. That should work, right? I'm worried about the adapter for this. The other thing I could do is what I found is there's a USB-A to like a barrel adapter for like 10 volts and up. But again, somebody who's bought this That's the problem I've been running into. Somebody had to have bought this and had it work. So where are those people who got this and what did they do? I can't find them anywhere. I posted this on Reddit and it got downvoted. I'm like, it's an honest question. Like, how do I make this work? And they're like, So I'm just like, okay, whatever. These United States of whatever. So anyway, that's the frustration that I'm dealing with now, is just not knowing enough, not knowing where to look. Again, okay with, like, it has to be kind of out of the box purchasing. Like, I don't have the tools to splice, to, I don't have a voltmeter to check things. Actually, I think I do have a voltmeter, but that's not the point. And this goes sideways, sideways. And that. Yeah, I've been reading a little bit about it, and oh, that's weird that that's an extra. I get these, but these two? That's interesting. These two. Beth came in the other day and she's like, what are you up to? I'm like, and I've got electricity diagrams in front of me. I'm like, I'm reading up on how to rewire electric stuff. And she's like, why? And I was like, because Lego. She's like, I don't even want to know. Okay, so this goes off like this to one side. And this goes off to this to one side. And we are done with this bag. So there's 5 bags. I'm hoping to get through it all. That's pretty nice. You can definitely tell the weed aspect of this for these guys. That's pretty rad. Try to keep these in view, but still have a buildable area for y'all to see. All right, Rose and Blue Daisy. So we're gonna be working on Rose and Blue Daisy, which are not characters from, six bags. I don't know if I'll get through this today. We need 2 of these. I think the most frustrating part about it, the power situation, is that Lego gives you this in your lighthouse. And happy 420. Celebrate as you will. I do hope Jesus lights a big old doobie and is chill with everybody today. Yeah, it was a full moon like a week ago or something, so everyone was joking it was gonna be werewolf Jesus instead of zombie Jesus. But it's on 420, so it's like stoner Jesus. All right, building 2 at once, so this should be pretty quick. But it's also flowers, so they're finicky. Get these out of the way. What was I saying? So they sell you that thing, and then they're just assuming that you're going to put the batteries in it once, turn it on, watch it go, and then never do anything else with it. And even then, the Lego thing, you got to pry it open, replace the batteries. So I mean, they're building it to kind of fail. And so the community steps up and says, well, tell you what, we're going to build a thing that allows you to plug it in somewhere, but then not the ability to actually plug it in anywhere. So I feel like I'm buying from suppliers, and I'm a contractor, and I'm just trying to get a car built somehow. But I'm having problems up the supply chain because nothing I have is like doing what I need it to do, which seems like a common thing to do. Like, you want this running all the time. You know, I don't understand Lego's mentality of this is just for kids. We're going to run it once and then that's it. Like, do they not think that AFOLs are going to use this and make it so they could run it more often. Lego minifigure like flowers too. This little flower, originally designed as a small peony, now forms the center of a rose. Okay, cool. Little peony piece. I'm sure we'll get it figured out. And I love my lug to death, but there's a few people in it who are like, yeah, I can help you out with that. And then I never hear back. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And then nothing. Crickets. I'm like, well, do we have to do this in person or something? Like, do you have the parts? Do you have what I need? Just tell me what I need. I don't want to borrow anything from you. I don't want to take anything that you need. Just, you know, tell me what I need to do. What is the battery box powering it? Well, currently, this is powered up. This is the battery box that comes in this originally, right? You fill this full of 6 double A's and you put it in there. And that's what powers it. This is your hub, right? You put the lid on and that's your hub. So somebody built this, which is just a 3D printed bracket with those leads on it that go out to the cabling, and they connect with the leads in there. So you put this in here and it connects, and now you can plug that in somewhere, right? And I know it works. I've seen it work. I just forget how I got it to work. But it's going to be in a model that's going to be by itself. I'm not going to be around to switch its batteries all the time. How many of these am I doing? 4, so 8. And it's going to be in the middle of a collaborative build. So there's going to be 25 other people with their models. And I think mine is going to be kind of in the middle because it's a tower. I didn't like the way they phrased this, but the guy running, he's usually on here, James. It's his project support project. It was his idea to come up with. He came up with the theme. He's organizing like the map, the layout, and everything like that. And he's like, we're going to put all the tall ones in the middle so they aren't blocking people's views of all the rest of them. Like if we put all the big ones around the edges, people won't see what's in the middle. And I get that. That makes sense. But at the same time, I'm like, but I have a lighthouse. Like I know it wouldn't make sense. Like it doesn't really matter if it's in the middle or not, because it's just Lego and it's just, there's going to be 3 other lighthouses, but like putting a lighthouse in the middle of a town doesn't make any sense. But I'm not going to argue. You know, it's not my place to, if I wanted to do something, I would have, and I did last year, and now it's somebody else's turn. So, but that also means if my thing's in the middle, it's going to need power to get out to the edge, or at least down wherever the power is. And yeah, it's running an M motor, powered up M, and lights. So whatever comes with the classic powered up from like the lighthouse, that's what it's running. And this is really pretty. Here's your almost blooming flower, rose. So put those on the sides here. And then we attach these, I think, on the edges like this. Are they all on the edge? Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure because he said we're going to put all the towers in the middle. And I'm like, I get that you don't want to block people, but there we go. That's nice. It's not as compact as the image, but oh well. I think it rotates. It might rotate a little bit. Need to rotate. Or it closes up. That's a little better. So that's cool. You have the lighthouse parts. So I got this from a company called PV Productions. They're the ones who 3D printed the bracket and added the cable to it. And it's great. I'm sure it'll work fantastic when I'm able to find the right amount of cables to power things properly. Oh, every rose has its thorn. Ooh, thorns in dark tan. Cool. This goes like this. Where does that go? I can't tell where this goes. Oh, one goes in there and one goes over here. Okay. Got it. Got it. Thought it was per 2 of each. But these are different. No, whatever the song is. Oh, those rose parts, yeah. Someone moved mine, and my mom's off to the side. There are a lot of gaps in the layout, so I don't think it's finalized. I think they're also waiting for everybody to kind of be done, and I think, if I remember correctly, James said to be done by now, like be done by May or March. Either side of that. April. Be done by April. Because they need to finalize the map for it. So one of these goes on here, one of these goes on here, and Bob's your uncle. So there are your 2 roses. 2 pink lovely roses, some with thorns, some with a leaf. Put these like this. You kind of see them still. Yeah, that's an interesting use of those like fenders. If you've got red fenders and red panels, that's awesome. One of these has... Why did you extend that one? Just to make it slightly taller. Okay. Somebody's a floral arranger. They're like, one of these has to be taller than the other one. All right, so we're gonna... This is a color... for that new color for that part, kind of this dumbbell bit in sand green. That's pretty cool. ×2, so that's my big project, is trying to figure out how to get this thing to work, because I had Friday off. It was Good Friday. I had it off. I was very excited to spend all day letting that run to see if it would run all day. And now I'm back to, well, maybe I should just fill it up with batteries and see how long it runs with just batteries, because I don't know that this is going to work. And I feel bad having spent nearly $40 on this piece. It's like 25 bucks plus, shipping from the Netherlands. This is ×2 and this is ×4, so this is all going to be, we're going to have 8 of these. Get all these over here. You guys sit over here. You guys sit over here. There's a lot of that going on. Yeah, so it's a little frustrating, and it's going to be occupying my brain for a little bit. That and the finding out that one Horizon machine Frost Claw looked so dang good that I'm at the point where I don't know what I want to build. I feel kind of let down by a lot of stuff, so I'm not really, which is another reason why I'm like, I think maybe I should do some more drawing. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe Lego is getting away from me a little bit. Coupled with the news about the yearly report removing some DEI language from Lego is kind of disheartening and doesn't make me want to kind of be part of the community right at the moment. So I don't know, it's weird. I met a guy yesterday after the Austin game. We're walking back to our cars and he sees my patch on my back, and it's a big Lego brick, and it just says Austin FC, but it's a big Lego brick. And he's like, "You have the coolest back patch of everybody I've seen." I'm like, "Cool, thanks." I was like, "Are you into Lego?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "That's how me and my wife met. We were it was at a brick fiesta or brick rodeo." And I was like, "Well, it was either of those, because that used to be what, you know, they were called." And he's like, "Yeah, it was really cool." And I was like, "Well, I'll tell you what." And I almost didn't, because I was like, I kind of don't care. This seems like it needs something. That doesn't seem as high as it wants to be here. Did I do that right? Yeah, that seems like it should be higher. I don't know. But anyway, I told him, I was like, "You should come to one of our meetings, blah, blah, blah." And so he said, "That sounds great." Times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what was the other one? Times 4. That one. But it was kind of cool because, you know, usually when we go to the soccer games, it's the patch moms that get all the attention, because honestly, they're very nice, and they provide a good product for everybody, and they created a great community, a reason to have a good community. So I don't resent or fault them at all. But I kind of feel like an also ran a lot of the times when I'm with them. So having somebody recognize Lego stuff is always kind of nice. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, bag 4. Extra pieces. So we may run a little long today. I have 3 bags to do. We did 3 bags in an hour. I'll try to do these 3 bags in an hour. But we may go till 12:15, 12:20. See how it goes. I hope you guys are having a good time. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I am over 900 subscribers, and there's no reason to crow the fact that I have a certain amount of subscribers, because I'm not in this to make money or be famous or do this as my full-time job. But once I get to 1,000, and there's no YouTube reason for having 1,000, but I feel like that'd be a good time for a giveaway. So I have extra botanical sets. We'll do a botanical giveaway when I reach 1,000. How's that sound? I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for the past 6 years. It's been a hoot. Except for Mayo, whenever he comes in. I'm just kidding. Totally just kidding. I was going to say Mayo and Cliff, but I feel like picking on Cliff right now would be in poor taste. I think that flood really messed his world up. So I hope he's doing okay. These are newish pieces for me, kind of. These fatter stock pieces. These look like they'd be great in another color to use for thrusters or exhaust manifolds or things like that for starships. So I'm going to keep my eye out for these in different colors. Be fun. And despite Lego being so rigid parts-wise, I always find it nice when building these flowers how organic they can end up looking. Because you're ostensibly putting a lot of things together. Like these are axe heads. Those are axes. And these are all Technic pieces, right? Making the stems. And this is, you know, stop signs and stuff. Some of these are obviously meant to be flowers, but a lot of them are not. So I think that's great. Ooh, this is a neat piece. I think this was, I don't think, was this in a light green, an alien in another time, or were these always these tulip or bell jar flower shapes? Because that's really rad. I haven't seen those before. This is a little too epic for chill Sunday morning. I need a little more chill than that. Did it say what these flowers were? These are Canterbury bells and Persian buttercup. Canterbury bells. They're adorable. There's Mayo. I knew if I mentioned him, he'd show up. It's like Candyman. Relevancy is currency. How you be, sir? Happy Easter? You guys do Easter today? Do you do Easter on Monday? I know Canada's on Monday. Or if you do Easter at all, I don't know. Can't tell where these are supposed to go. This way? I will say the one thing about building flowers in Lego is there's such an exacting, it has to go this way because it's built off of 90 degrees angles for the most part, 90 or 45, that if you ever get the flower builds and it says, just put these on here like this. And you're like, but what angle is that? They're like, I don't know. Just, you know, just kind of get it on there. ×2. Dang it. Always miss that. So this is usually the time of year where we find, and I'm kind of sad because I think I either missed it or just am not involved, but where we get the confetti eggs and show up at each other's house and smash them over our heads. And we didn't do that last couple of years. So I'm kind of sad, but I could also just go do it. You know, it doesn't have to be somebody else coming over to my house. So I don't know why I'm complaining. This is going to be a thing, I can already tell. This is going to be extensive. One of our characters from the Lego Dreams line is used here to represent a small Campanula blossom. That's what I thought. I thought these guys were like little alien things or something, but little blobs or hats of some kind. I mean, that's just pretty. I like that. That's just so simple and pretty. All right, we got 3 eggs. Happy Easter. I found all your eggs. They're all right here. And these eggs also have little holes in them. You didn't know. So you can put them on here. On these stems. I'm seeing a lot more use of this. The very, very small, pokey, outy things like that lately. Lovely. I have one more Easter egg? No, I don't. Did it roll off? Uh-oh. Oh, it did. Rolled away. Plant, leaf. Goes there. This all goes on top of that. It doesn't matter how you orient it because it's just a plant. I just rewound. It's not been a hoot to watch your streams for the past 2 years. Yeah, I was trying to figure out somebody to pick on. I was going to pick on Zissou, and then I was like, who else usually shows up? Johnny already came in this morning and said he was going to brunch, so I can't pick on him. I was like, who else isn't here? All right, is that it? Yeah, look at that. That one's done. I think this is my favorite so far. That's really lovely. Just adding to the table of flowers here. All right, this is a ×2 as well. So this should go pretty quickly. I'm finishing up my playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West. And I'm looking for a new game to play in the interim. So if anybody has any suggestions about good console games that are kind of open world for the PlayStation, PS5, that'd be great. I thought about, somebody said to look up Monster Hunter, but I looked up Monster Hunter and it seemed more grindy than gameplay to me. So not really my bag, but I'd like something with a really nice story in it. It's a bunch of indie games on Steam. I might go back to doing some computer games. There's also a Civ kind of Egyptian builder game that I used to play that I want to try to download and play again, see how that pans out. All right, so we got 6 of these. Yeah, right. I just noticed it was above 900 yesterday and not super keeping track of stuff. I got an email from the YouTube creator suite that was like, have you checked your whatever? And I was like, no, why would I? I don't make money. It doesn't matter what thumbnail I use for each thing. Like, so I just, the only time I really pay attention is if they say, hey, you got a copyright infringement on the short that you just uploaded. Because I'm usually just uploading it straight from TikTok, and the music violations are going to be different because TikTok doesn't care apparently, but YouTube does. So I'll just move it over there with whatever music was on that video, and they'll go, nope, can't do that. Somebody in Germany owns the copyright for Oh, I see. So these are pointing down. Gotcha. And then I get more that are pointing up. Wow. This is going to be intense. And even more that are pointing more up. Yeah, so 1,000 would be fun. 1,000's a good kind of marker, you know, to be like, yeah, you've done this for a while. But other than that, there's really no importance to it. But thank you, I appreciate that. Oh wait, I already did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now another. Oh my god. How many in here total? 6, 6, 6, and 4. I don't know if I'm gonna have room. I'm not sure how these are stacking. I think I'm just gonna try to get these in here as best as I can. Oh, this is very complicated. I've lost all control over this. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6, and then we got another 6 in here. Three, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've lost one. I don't know where I've lost one. It says now that I do 4. But I don't know where these 4 can go in. So I'm just making this up. Yeah, TikTok and Instagram music is more lenient because their music, yeah. Well, the problem I'm having is that there is a bar. That bar in the middle only lets the angle go one way. So I don't exactly know what section I can put these in. I think I can do one more, 4. Okay. So let's just say that's good. Yeah, that's pretty good. It doesn't look good, but let's see. So I need 6. This should tell me 6. 6. and 4. Okay, so I'm either one short or I'm missing one on here. So I'm just going to try to put one on here like that. Good. Okay. Now let's see if I can actually do it like they've described. Got 6 right there, 6 halfway through that. Yeah, because this doesn't let you bend down all that much. Six. Okay. Now, there's another 6 that goes the other way. Oh, I was looking at the wrong, dang it. Well, this time it went much faster. Good. And then it says like fluff them up a little bit when you're done. Yeah, like that. Okay. That took entirely too much time. Bag 5. Continuation of these guys. More hatchet pieces. Ooh, nougat. I get excited for what looks like new colors. Shields in like a pink light nougat color. Could make some awkward people with that color. We've got triangle tiles in light nougat. Let's see if there's any other. I think we already have these in dark orange or this orange red, so that's not terribly new. I think the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, is any of this a 2 times 2? Yeah. So oh, this is the tail end of that. Gotcha. Mix my bags with my numbered flowers. How dare. Let's go push down. And those also get pushed down. Okay. Oh, they're on the opposite. Okay. Like, what the what? Okay. Let's see. Lego related stuff. So the May the 4th set is going to be the Jango Fett. I am not, or the Jango Fett Slave 1. Sorry, Jango Fett's Starship. For those who don't care about nomenclature. I like how that's kind of like a thing. Like people are like, oh, so you care that it's called the Slave 1. Are you like pro-slavery? And it's like, no, that's the name I grew up with. What do you want from me? It's like, well, we're not calling him Chewbacca anymore. Because that's a Maori name that we can't use. Okay, well. Okay, so that's very pretty. That's really, really nicely layered. Those axe pieces. And I didn't even notice this. It's two different colors of axe pieces. It's the dark red orange and the regular orange. So that's got a nice blending of pieces there. That's really great. All right, so we need 2 of these. And we've got 2 of these. We do this times 2. Guess not. Let's do this. 1. And then we do this. 1. It's Monday morning after Easter for me, but I slept all day yesterday and unexpectedly got gifted a Lindt Easter chocolate yesterday. I'll eat it after this stream. I've got a friend, friend, somebody I know from the supporter group who does anti-religious videos on TikTok. He was like me, raised religious, has religious family, like his wife takes the kids to church and stuff. But he's an atheist, and so he gets on there and he's just like talking. He's like, I don't even bring it up usually. It's the people find me and comment. And they always say stuff like, well, I'll pray for you. And he just goes, go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead right now. Pray for me. Let's see what happens. And they're like, well. And he's like, okay, because it does nothing. So have fun with that. And I think it's funny because you're kind of being an anarchist and whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't believe in religion. At the same time, I'm like, I don't really want to crap on anybody else's religion. You do whatever you need to do to get through the day. Is this not a ×2? I guess not. What is this? It just has 1 wheel. Oh no, 2 wheels. Okay, cool. But he's going to be going, he's on right now on TikTok. If you find L Dave, ×8. That's what he's going to be doing. So I told him I'd come check him out after. 1, 2, 3. I was like, that's a bold thing to be doing on Easter. And he's like, yeah, we'll see what happens. 4, 5, 6, 7. Star Wars snowflakes are the most annoying Star Wars fans. I went to see Chewbacca piloting Slave 1 to Jabba's not Arab mosque palace. George Carlin prayed to Joe Pesci. I pray to Vitruvius. Uh-oh. All right, so on here we shall do 4 on each side. 2. I used the Vitruvian Man as the cover of my comic book. Only 1/2 of him was a robot. I thought when I was in college, I was so smart for doing that. Look how learned I am. Did I do 9? I did 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, I did extra. And then they kind of go down a little bit. And then this guy goes on top. Oh, that's right. The character Vitruvius in the Lego movie. Sorry. Oh, I got a head start. That's all I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, oh, is this going to do this thing again where it's like, now do it again? Yep. Okay. So these new ones, I guess it really doesn't matter, just as long as you get them all on there. In between all these. Yeah, that bar in the middle of this wheel really dictates like what angle the claw or the clip goes in, because it doesn't really bend all the way all that much. So you're kind of like, well, it can only bend this far. Okay. And now do it again. 1, 2. So did anybody else watch any of the celebration panels or anything like that? Any news coming out of that? I kind of wish they'd go back to the days where everything wasn't announced in H Hall San Diego Comic-Con panel format, you know? I wish they would just post it somehow, some way, and not, it doesn't have to be that. Oh, I see, because now there's 2 wheels. That's cool. This also is very, very pretty. These nougat shields really make the all come together. It's what we call sexy techniques. I do know that Andor is coming up in a couple days, Tuesday, I think. So I'm excited for that. How pretty that is. Put that aside for a hot second. That's a new color for that part, as far as I'm aware. This is a just regular nougat 8-sided modified plate with bar. I don't think it has the number 8 on it at all. I think it's just modified plate with bar. Slightly off. It doesn't matter. That. And then times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slightly turned tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. As Beth would say, 4. Oh, put these on. Where are you, my friend? There you are. These go on the opposites of those. And then we're going to do another grouping of that. Oh, yeah, with the triangles. Pretty, pretty, pretty. 1, 2, I timed this really well. One bag in about 20 minutes. I think we got this. See, that in another color. What a great like bit of greebling you could do for like thrust. A lot of these, if they were in grays and blacks and light grays, would be amazing like vectored thruster nozzles for a spaceship. So keep that in mind when you're building these, the techniques that are used. So you can use them again as very unique ways to make the back end of spaceships. Because I mean, a little modification there, right? Put a red light in the middle here, maybe not use that middle, those middle barbs. You could do longer tiled pieces or something instead of the teeth. This would be really an amazing bit of thrusters. I think that would be very cool. Okay. And one of these. And Bob's your uncle. This is, I didn't see what flower this was. This was a water lily dahlia. Here's your water lily dahlia. A little bent out of reorganize some of the angles, make it not look so droopy. Go. Lovely. Put this guy in here like this. All right, last but not least, we're doing the boat orchid with like some amazing new petal pieces here. These are really great, these heart-shaped giant magenta petals. It's gonna be fun. Looking for different colored pieces in here, like I usually do. I'm always happy to see dark red anything. Got dark red fern leaves. That's pretty cool. These are the pieces I was talking about. These nice fat magenta heart-shaped petal leaves. I think these may have already come in dark green, but I'm not really sure. It's got a dark magenta head in there. I don't know if these dinosaur tail, elephant tusks have come in dark green before, but there's those. Get all these out of the way. Usually tell these big leaves go on sort of last. So just kind of get them out of the way so you can see everything else easily. These dishes in magenta, these 3 wide dishes. Lavender claws. I know they kind of look like pale blue in the camera there, but they're lavender. Yeah. A white frog. We got white frogs. It's pretty slick. Not bad. All right. This isn't a ×2, so we're just going to build them one at a time. Looks like. All right. So as we get close to the top of the hour, reminder that I think Johnny Builds has got another build this week, another stream this week, so keep an eye out for that. I don't think I have any reason not to be available on Thursday. Looking at my calendar. Yeah, Thursday I've got nothing going on, so I should be available to do probably another design stream. I had an idea for the Q2 Stadium, so I think I want to get involved in that. I do have another. I really wish I could talk about this. I have another build that I am doing, but I can't say anything about it yet, and I can't wait to talk about it. So I will be working on that, and that'll be behind the scenes. Waiting to hear back from the people who wanted the adult or entertainment pavilion place. Haven't heard back from them yet. So yeah, maybe doing Q2 this Thursday. If that's up your alley, please join me. If you have questions, it'll be another time to kind of figure out a little bit about Studio. If you're curious about Studio, I am doing a talk at Brick Rodeo about Studio. So anytime you can ask questions, it'll help me learn the software by learning what people need to know or people want to know, that are curious about the software. Helps me make a better kind of curriculum for the talk. Otherwise, I'm just going through talking points about stuff that I know, and that may not always be what people need to know. So join me on Thursday and see if you got any questions about that. Okay. Fold two of these up. Fold all of them up. And then put a thing and a thing. I don't know how far up this needed to go, but far enough to where this thing covers it, I guess. Interesting. Cool. Ooh, this looks really cool. These little ferns in white. I don't know that I've got any of these or not, but this is great part usage with the cow horns in here. So it's always fun. I always like doing these quarter pieces on the boat tiles. I think that's a neat look. If you can attach them to something, they make great like button looking bits. Great use of the open stud there. This is a whole different game, like figuring out the inner workings of a flower in Lego is just like, I would have no idea how to figure that out. And from a distance, it looks great. You know, up close, you can see the plates and the bars and stuff. So it loses a little bit of the magic, but not a lot. It's still really good. Okay, one of these two. Okay, get that one out of the way. We're gonna build this one up, I guess. Oh, I see. And here's another part where you're like, this is all Technic. I don't want to do Technic on my flowers, but it works. Works pretty well. So what does everybody have going on the rest of the day? It's Easter, so I mean, if you're celebrating, I'm guessing that you're gonna have dinner or something with friends and family. I don't know how far down that needs to go, but let's just go there. If you have plans the rest of the week, if you've got any big events coming up, got any builds you're looking forward to doing? Set that guy aside over there. I don't know right off the bat if we've got any. I know May 4th releases are coming up, and I think there's one or two that I'd like to get. I think I'm not going to get like I said, the Slave one's not one on my radar, but the MIDI scale Kylo Ren shuttle I'll probably end up getting. What else is there? The Chopper, I'd like to get Chopper. I'm not going to get the Star Wars built brick. I don't know why, I just don't. That may have to grow on me a little bit. So I'm not really sure what else I'd like to get. Does anybody else think they're gonna? Is there any sets coming out 1st of May, early May that aren't Lego related or that aren't Star Wars related that you'd like to get? That you got your eye on? Going to my sister's for dinner. Very cool. Yeah, we've got our friends are coming over for Doctor Who after this. I honestly don't know if we're doing lunch or dinner or when they're coming over. I just said anytime after 1 is fine. Oh, I didn't need to do 2 of those. I did this part backwards. Pay attention to the numbers. Yeah, this was a nice long weekend. I'm sad we got to go back to work tomorrow, unless you're in Canada or a place that does Easter Monday instead of Good Friday, or your Easter is on Monday. Not looking forward to that. I never look forward to going back to work. Like, my job's fine. I don't have anything to complain about. It's just, it's work, you know. You don't want to do it unless it's a thing you like doing. And it's that whole do what you love and nothing will seem like work ever axiom. All right, take care, Mayo. Happy Easter. I'll see you soon. Oh, ×2. Dang it, I'm gonna have to go over and start all this over again. Could have been doing this together this whole time. It didn't say ×2 up here. Oh, it did. Oh, that's too small. They need to get that in bigger font. I think that's going to be my recommendation. Put your ×2 in bigger font. Or outlined or an arrow pointing to it. I don't know why I'm constantly missing I gotta go all the way back up here and do this all over. I was wondering where all these second parts of the thing were going to come into play. All right, we're getting close to the top of the hour, which means I expect Cliff to show up any second. Cliff and Zissou will roll in here shortly. Although I have a feeling because of Easter, there's a lot of people hanging out with their families, and I get that. I'm actually wondering if we're going to be able to find a place to get food for, because we usually order delivery for when we do Doctor Who watches. But I'm wondering if any place is even going to be open. A lot of places that are closed today. White frog on here just cracks me up. I like how Lego has basically taken the frog to be sort of like plant adjacent. It's not a frog anymore. It's now the petals of flowers, or the pistils or stamens of flowers. I love my family, but nobody remembers that I do a stream on Sundays from 10 to noon, Central Standard Time. Which means my mom's going to call here. And my parents have been divorced for 30-something years, separated for longer. And yet, they're constantly, every time there's a holiday, they call within minutes of each other. It's hilarious. And if I don't preemptively call them, one will call and be like, all right, and I just hang up and I just sit there and wait. Like, yep, any minute now. Dad called, which means mom's gonna call any second. So and if my dad pops on here while we're watching, no, we don't really do anything for Easter. We used to with the kids, and I think it was a bit of like doing Ostara stuff with Cheryl and her, at the time, kind of pagan Wicca faith, but nothing really anymore, other than maybe smashing confetti eggs on everybody's heads. But even that was kind of, once the kids got their own places and moved away, if they don't come back specifically for today, that's, they've got their own thing going on. Have them develop their own traditions or their own beliefs or whatever. So up to them. All right, so these are extra. Now these are all going on here, and that will signify the end of this build. This drifts a little bit, so you have to position it in a way that doesn't drift. But there's your water lily. What were these called? Let's go all the way back up here. Boat orchids. So these are boat orchids. I've never heard of that before. But yeah. So that's it. So this represents the latest of the giant bouquets. They've got some smaller things that you can have, like in the watering pots. They put flowers on record players or typewriters and stuff. But so this is, here's all the different flowers from this. And again, it's not one that's built with displayability in mind, because it doesn't come with a vase. So you have to find your own vase somewhere, which will be my next project. I think I'm actually out of vases. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's a lot of great part usage. You know, the shields, especially those colored shields, really work well. I'm trying to think. The fenders inside the roses is a good look. There's a lot of great. I think this is my favorite. It's one of the smaller ones, just because of it's kind of delicate looking. It's very simple, but I really like the way it looks. So anyway, all right, everybody. Well, happy Easter. Thank you for hanging out with me this Sunday morning. I appreciate it, as always. If you liked watching this, make sure to hit like. If you're new, please hit subscribe. And if you're just passing through and have any questions about Lego, or maybe the Lego scene in Austin, or anything about studio or anything like that. Oh, Luffy, you're like 30 seconds away from me ending. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. We're celebrating Easter here in the States. I don't know if that's something y'all do in Northern Europe, if you've got a separate day, if it's a worldwide thing, I don't even know anymore. But anyway, we built all these lovely flowers today. So I wish you well. I will be back on Thursday again. We'll do some Discord, or we'll do some Q2 designing, because I had some brainstorms about some stuff. So I want to try them out in studio and see how that goes. And if you have any input about anything, just let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a few days. Happy Easter. Take care.